Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Veronica and today we have a fun build. And every build is fun for me, but this one was a lot of fun. And by a lot of fun, I mean like really a lot of fun. And that is mostly because I spent 12 hours building this house. And you probably already see why. And yeah, it is a 4-story high apartment building for my Newcrest project. And if you did not know, I have started my Newcrest project somewhere in November or October. I do not remember myself already. And I did not make that much progress with that project because for now I think I have only 4 builds for the project. And these builds are like one starter home, 2 apartment buildings, and a gym. And the gym, which is like directly across the street from this apartment building. I had really a lot of fun trying to make this one, and as you see, this build already has quite a lot of details. I decided to not restrain myself with that, and maybe it was a bit of a mistake because this build was so laggy by the end of me trying to furnish all of these apartments. And I should also warn you that I'm gonna cut all of the furnishing of the apartments. You will see only the exterior and some common areas, and that is because these builds sped up would take maybe 2 hours, and I'm still not ready to talk for this long. It's a bit too much for me. This building in the end has 6 units. One of them is 2 stories high, so it's quite a big apartment building. And I decided to make some kind of architectural lighting for this building, so you will see that in the end of this speed build. But for me, it was not the end, of course. It was like maybe somewhere in the middle of the building. And about the lag, I should also tell you that this build is laggy exclusively when you see all of the apartments. So when I was building that, I saw all of the apartments because I was building it as usual residential lot. Because building in residential rental lot type is a torture. It lags so much that I do not want to do that. So I had to see all of the apartments, and that is why it was laggy for me. It wasn't laggy for me when I tried to play in this building because I play tested that, of course, so everything as I was concerned works. The lag was only when you can view all of the apartments. And you might ask me, why did I place windows on every single these 3 wide gap between the columns, and that is because at first I was not sure about the exterior, and I will remove some of the windows later just because I do not need that many. And why does anybody want some windows with the view on the roof? So I removed a lot of the windows later, and I tried to make there some kind of different colored brick so that it looks fun. And as for staircase, you see that I'm trying to place the stairs, and I had to cut like maybe 15 minutes of me trying to place the staircase sped up. It took me really long to try and figure out where I want to place the staircase. And I just wanted to have some kind of a well from the basement up to the 4th floor, and apparently it was a bit difficult for me to find a spot where I would place a staircase without it looking weird and without losing a lot of the space in the building itself for staircases. But at one moment I figured out that staircases can be kinda stacked above each other, so it was a lifesaver for me. So you can see that I did place all of the staircases above each other. As for the video quality, I should also apologize. And no, it's not your internet, it's just me trying a new video editor. The video quality in this one sucks. So I'm sorry for that, and I would fix that, but I do not want to spend another 12 hours trying to rebuild this whole building for the camera only. And this build is already on my gallery. My gallery name is gloverunt, just like my YouTube name, so you can find it by my hashtag, which I did place my YouTube name in. For the whole exterior, you now see me deleting the windows, and I try to make some kind of a patios outside space for almost every single one of the apartments. Of course, I did not manage to place it for every single one, especially for the 1st floor one, because it doesn't have a patio. The first floor doesn't have a balcony. So we have balconies only on the 2nd to the 4th floor. And as for the basement, I decided to place there something for fun because you sometimes, especially in the apartment buildings where your building is limited by its size, you have to place some stuff and you do not have enough space for that. So in this building we have basements, and if you want to add something to the building, you can do that in the basement, because basement editing does not ruin the exterior for this build, because I did not use any kind of foundations. I was using only platforms in here. And the basement is actually quite functional for this build too. So in this basement, I wanted to place a pool, and maybe it's a bit of an unusual choice for me, at least. I still want to place a pool. So in the basement, we have a laundry room, we'll have a gym, and we will have a pool. And I made it so that to access the pool, you need to go through the shower room, like in some, I don't know, some decent community pools. You have to wash yourself before you go in the water where everybody else spends their time. So you go to the pool room through the shower, and after you take a shower, I decided to make like an open common shower room where I did place a lot of university showers. I hope your Sims will be smart enough not to take the shower naked, because mine were not. And if yours aren't either, you can just place there a wall and some kind of a door so that they would feel a bit private in there and they wouldn't be embarrassed for using the shower in there. And as you see, I decided to add maybe some kind of modern touch to the building. And yeah, I did place bushes on these tiny fake balconies, which are just trimmed by half walls, and I thought that it looks nice and it maybe adds some color to the exterior, because as you see, the whole exterior is this like dull brownish red color, and just like usual brick color, I would think. It somehow looks like some of the fancier buildings in the area where I live. Of course, not in the town where I live. The town where I live is quite small. We do not have buildings like that. But in the city where I lived before, there were some fancy buildings in the middle of the city which looked somewhat like that. And you might notice that there is a fountain in the front. It will be deleted, because at first I wanted to place that, but I figured that I did not know how to make it look nicely. So I decided that maybe it's not worth that. So I did place there another flower bed, and not only flower, there will be a tree. I decided to also make the front of the house look like really fancy, so we have some kind of sign on this half wall on this balcony on the 2nd floor, which is above the main entrance to the building. And this sign is actually from the Wedding Stories debug, and I think that maybe there is a sign like that outside the debug. And as for the exterior, I also had some fun placing this like a trash area. I did place a couple of dumpsters outside, 3 actually, and I decided to cover it in this like a jail fence from the Get to Work expansion pack, and I think it looked so fun. And it just looks like realistic, because sometimes in the fancy houses this trash area would be like really divided from the whole other exterior of the build. And I decided to make there a glass roof, so it's like some kind of a greenhouse maybe. So your Sims can have some fun in there. They can get some money from digging in these dumpsters, and also they can woohoo in there. Just if you want to, of course. Sometimes I do want to. So I like my Sims being a bit weird, I would say. And I did place a bit later. I will place some fun stuff to do for kids in the backyard. At first, I thought to make some kind of outside pool, but then I thought that I already do have a pool in the basement. I do not need another one. Like, why would I need an outside pool when I have a pool in the basement which will be usable all year long? And not only when it's warm outside, because when it's cold outside, your Sims might freeze to death. And in Newcrest, it's sometimes freezing outside, so I decided not to go a bit on a dangerous path and place a pool outside. So instead of the pool, I decided to make there some kind of a grass square where I did place a tree house, and also I did place there a jungle gym so that your kids will have some stuff to do in there. And this tree house is unbuilt, of course, but it may be fun if you live in here and you have kids. You can just build up the tree house, and maybe your kids will spend some time in there. And as for the inside, you see me now trying to furnish some pool space. I decided to place there a lot of towels, some bathrobes, like, maybe in the pool you're wearing a swimsuit, but it's not that warm inside, so you're putting on your bathrobes, you go to the pool itself, take it off, and go swimming. Just it's what I would do because I do not like feeling my skin too wet. So I thought that this pool area turned out really nicely, and I did place there some ceiling fans, which are the plumb bob ones. And I don't think that I'm using that item really often, so it was really fun for me. Like, maybe this whole apartment building is the Sims owned, just to say so. Like, of course, it's Sims owned. Like, maybe one of your Sims will buy the apartment building. Maybe they will not. So, I think that this building is a really nice one to live in. And a bit later, you will probably also see that I decided to switch the colors in some room. And if you're wondering how I'm doing that, I was using Better Build By mod, and it's like a really useful mod because you can change light colors from build mode. You do not have to bring a sim to a lot to do that. So it was really convenient for me. So I really like that. And now you actually see me trying to figure out what I want to do with the gym bathroom. And I decided to place bathroom, a divided one, in the gym. At first, I thought to give access to the pool from the gym, but then I thought that maybe the person was just working out and he's a bit dirty or sweaty. He needs to take a shower first and then go to the pool. So that is why the only access to the pool is through the whole shower area, which I did place on the left side from of the basement. And I decided to make it all look kind of fancy, so we have the whole wall height mirrors and stuff. We have there like a lot of towels, a lot of lockers, so that, maybe people don't really trust each other, but we have a lot of towels because it's building owner provided. Like, you live in this building, it's like you had some kind of a subscription, or how it's called in English, I'm not sure, to a gym, like gym membership. Like, you live in an apartment and it's the same as if you had a gym membership. So that is what I was imagining in here. And that is why we have here a lot of lockers, a lot of towels and stuff. And at first in the gym, I thought to make like a blank wall in the back of the bathroom, but then I decided that it would look much better if I probably placed there some kind of a sitting area with the mirror and a couple of lockers again. And yeah, every single bathroom in this gym and in this pool area, every single bathroom in this basement has a plunger just in case. What if something happens and you do not want to bother anybody? And yeah, I did place a lot of towels in the snow escape counter just because it's like a perfect shelving for a place like that. It's open, so nothing should be stored in there, so maybe there is some kind of a storage room somewhere. And I think that I did leave some room for expansion in this basement just in case you want to do something. You can just probably delete the whole shower area for the pool and place there a door to somewhere else and give access to a pool exclusively from a gym. And as I see now, I think apparently I did leave the entrance from a gym. I thought I did not, but it's fine. Anyway, it's still quite usable, and you might have noticed that at first I thought to make a gym a bit smaller, a bit bigger. I wanted it to be like huge, a big and nice one. But then I thought that it's probably a bit excessive. Like, I do not need that. Maybe a couple of treadmills, a couple of these punching bags, and a couple of weightlifting machines would be enough. So I decided to stay on that and not add anything else. Maybe it's really a bit too much. Probably, I hope all of your sims will have enough of stuff to do. And as for the laundry room, I just decided that maybe a lot of washers and dryer are gonna be a bit too much. So we have like three washers and three dryers. Like you don't need that much. You don't. I just think like really you do not. It's gonna be quite enough for your sims. And yeah, I did place a lot of stuff from the laundry day in the laundry room. Obviously, I would say. And as for the main lobby, I decided not to make it too big. I decided that it's gonna be better if I place maybe a couple of apartments on the first floor, and I did. So in the common area, I decided to place like some kind of a playroom, I would say, or something like that. So here we have that play table where you can maybe do some puzzles, so you can play Don't Wake Llama and stuff like that. And I also did place in this area a chess table and some kind of reading nook so that if you want to, your Sims might read in here. And I thought that probably it looks quite nice, just whatever you like. And I thought that as this building is quite fancy, we are not gonna have like some kind of community board or stuff, and we are gonna have a lot of art on the walls and a lot of fancy lights and stuff like that. And I think that in the end it turned out quite nicely. Like we have a lot of stuff to do in the building. Like in the community area, you can already do your workouts, you can swim, you can do your laundry, you have a chess table, you have a games table, you have a tree house, monkey bars. There is also that marble square we have or circle from the front expansion pack. And I think that in the end it actually turned out quite nicely. Like you have a lot to do in the whole community area only, so you do not have to place a lot of stuff to do in your house. Like maybe the community area lacks a computer, but I would not place computer in community area if I was the building owner, so I did not. And as for now, you might have noticed that there was this thing that I was constantly removing and replacing one of the stairs, which is actually entrance to the whole staircase from the first floor. And that was because there was a platform and I had a staircase down from that platform. And it was lagged somehow, and I did meet this lag before when you're trying to maybe place a wall in some kind of random space on the lot. Like you want to place a wall somewhere in the very corner of the lot, and the staircase is on the opposite side of the of the whole lot. And this staircase somehow deletes itself, and you're just wondering why the hell did that happen. I did not do anything about this staircase, and I figured out that it happened to me a couple of times, and it usually happens when this staircase leads to a piece of room or a room which is only one tile wide. And I had the same thing when I had a one tile wide porch to enter the house when I built the house before. So I had to slightly redo the whole entry to the staircase in this house just purely because of this staircase glitch. As for the whole exterior, you might have seen already that I did place some kind of architectural lighting, so it's maybe a bit more fun outside. I think that you might like this build as well as I do. And I think that probably it is time for me to go back into the game and show you the final. So this is the final product. So let me give you a quick tour. So by the entrance we have a nice lobby area where we have entrance to the all 4 floors high staircase, and also here we have a community area. You saw me furnishing that. We have a play table, a chess table, and here somewhere to sit. Here we have a common bathroom, and as for the outside, here we have a tree house, a marble circle. Also here we have a hopscotch and monkey bars, a couple of planters just to have something to do for your Sims. And also a lot of bicycles. I decided to place a lot of them, like maybe it's quite logical for the building this big. And also a lot of dumpsters. And if you did not notice, I did place a trash chute by every single one of the apartments so that it's more convenient for your scenes. In the basement, we have some kind of a flower underneath the stairs. Here we have a laundry room. You've seen me furnishing that. It's nothing so special, but I think it's like a nice laundry room for the whole building to use. Here we also have a gym with a plumb bob ceiling fan. All you need for a gym, like you have these punching bags, you have a couple of weightlifting machines, you have a couple of treadmills, like literally all you might need. In here we have a bathroom, just the usual. All of the bathrooms here are pretty much the same. Here we have like a walk-through shower room where your sims might go into to access the whole pool area. In the pool, I thought that maybe this bluish light looks nice for a pool. If you're not sure about that, you might quite easily change that, but I think that it looks nice. And I decided not to clutter it too much, just to place some necessities. And let us go to the apartments themselves. This was the first apartment I furnished, and it's like apartment number one. And in here, when you enter, we have some kind of a nice entryway with all the necessities for the entryway. We have a fancy dining area, a big and nice kitchen, also really bright. When you go through here, I decided to place a column just for, imagine that they're supporting the building. In here, we have a tiny downstairs bathroom. In here, we have an office where your teams might work. I imagine that this team maybe is interior designer. In here, we have some kind of a fancy living room with an 8,000 million night, of course, a piano, some kind of reading nook. At least that is what I imagine it to be. Upstairs, we have another chess table, another games table, an easel, like some kind of art nook, I would say. The primary bedroom, maybe this scene is fashion influencer, I don't know. And here we have a kid's bedroom, which I decided to make like all cloudy. And in here, I do have some kind of a fashionable, I would say, bathroom, which is all white with a lot of glass. It's really big. I would say, like in my usual build, I would make it two bathrooms because it's quite easily to fit all you need on 2 by 3 tiles. But in here, I decided to make it one huge and fancy bathroom. And on the patio, here we have some kind of dining area, some music, some seating area, we have a grill, and we have a bar area. So you can have parties on this patio. And in here, I decided that this would be some kind of a family apartment, so I used a lot of parenthood in here. And here we have a tiny kitchen. It's not that fancy as neighbors, of course, and it's right in the entry, but we have some entryway stuff, and we have a lot of shoes in here because I thought that in this tiny apartment, four sims can live. We have table, and yeah, I did place this chair, but I did not place anything else for a toddler bed for me, but it's already on the gallery. In here, I did place some kind of a dollhouse. We have a tiny living area with a TV, a messy kids room, and yeah, this bedroom is quite silly, I know, but it was mostly inspired by this bed from Seasons, and just quite a generic bathroom. And let us go upstairs now. We are gonna go through these stairs up, and we go to this hallway where we have another trash chute for these two apartments, two mailboxes, and yeah, they place another mailbox outside just in case if mailman cannot reach these two. And in here, we have the smallest apartment, and this is like a studio apartment, but we have quite a fancy kitchen in here, I would say. And I imagine that maybe in this apartment lives a person with a cat, so we have quite cluttered kitchen. Maybe this person is a cook. Maybe, I don't know. It's all up to you. Here we have a tiny little shower room. In here we have an Murphy bed so that it's a living room and a bedroom in the same time. A bookshelf, a cat tree, and that is pretty much all. And I did put some effort to place hampers in every single of the apartments. And this neighbor's apartment is quite opposite. It's actually second most expensive. This one is maybe a couple of tens of millions more expensive. But this one is like, those neighbors who maybe have not the best taste, but they have a lot of money. So they have a lot of these nice statues, like it's one, this is two, This is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. And that is only inside. They have another one outside. So these people have most expensive kitchen. They have very expensive living room. They have this fancy outdoor piano, but they thought that it looks so fancy that they want to play that in their living room. And they have all of these in black and golds. They have the most expensive bed in the game, all this fancy stuff around, this ugly fruit bouquet, and they have a lot of gnomes in the apartment, like this ghost one, this death one, and you kinda can guess what their career is, but I'm not telling that directly. And they have a kid, and this kid is not allowed to be a kid, so it doesn't have that much toys, and most of its bedroom looks quite uniform. They have a hamper here too, and another one which is hidden, like we not have dirty laundry, and yeah, this swan bathroom. So I'm not telling anything, but yeah, and they have a golden toilet. And on the outside they have some fancy bar area. And let us go upstairs. In here I imagine that maybe some kind of a fun granddad lives in here. So he has a tiny kitchen where he probably likes cooking sometimes. He has a big living room with this rocking chair, so maybe he meets his grandkids here really often. Here is his bedroom, and it's maybe partly artsy one, so I decided to use this bed, and that's purely because I've never used that before. And in this bathroom, he has a lot of flowers because probably his late wife liked gardening. And he has a lot of crafts things on the patio in the front, and also he has a study. So this man likes robotics, and probably here he takes some notes. And I'm not telling what his career is either, but I think you can guess. And in here he has some kind of a play table, maybe he likes inviting guests, and a lot of flower pots, his own chess table, and a telescope. And the last one is the top floor, and I decided that this one is going to be like all classy black one. So we have all black flooring, white and black wallpapers, some flowers, some fancy stuff, and I think that it looks quite uniform. Here we have a gallery kitchen, a tiny dining nook, also a bedroom, and this is also quite an expensive apartment, but I imagine that maybe only one person lives in here and he likes to throw some parties. So we have a grill, we have a pizza maker, we have a bar in here, we also have some kind of a conversation spot, and this person has a cat, so you see a couple of feeding bowls, this sleeping mat, and a cat tree, of course, and a litter box. Where would I go without it? So this was the last apartment, and of course we have a tragic clown portrait in there. I would not finish a build without it. And this is pretty much the build. So if you like the videos like that, you can subscribe to my channel. You can download this build from my gallery. My gallery name is gloverunt, just like my YouTube name. And I think that is goodbye.